Cool, okay, so this is, everyone's on the same page, take 3. Bringing all the drummers together for the recording day, in principle sounds really easy, but then you start to realise that you're going to have 12 months of competition, so you're going to have plenty of drummers, you're going to have the musicians involved, you're going to have all the engineers and guys that work at the studio. We're filming the whole event, we've got so many people taking part, and we're doing it all in one day. It was not easy to plan. DrumOff TV is essentially just an online drumming competition. There are a couple of things that make it unique though. Firstly, and probably most importantly, is the fact that we restricted anybody who wanted to take part to only using 3 instruments. They could only use the kick drum, a snare and a hi-hat for their video entry. This made it easily accessible for anybody to have a go. Anybody can get hold of those 3 basic instruments for a drum kit, and rather than rattling around the toms and going crazy, it's all about focusing on just being a really good beat. The other part of it is to restrict everybody to only 30-second entries. So when you're watching all the videos each month, you're not having to sit through hours of footage to be able to sort of choose your favourite. You can just sit through for 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds it's focusing the drummer that's taking part into putting their best beat down. And yeah, those 2 elements together, 30 seconds and just the kick, hack, snare, were kind of the main things for the competition, the main things that made it unique and made it work. I was thinking, what can we give as a prize? As a little incentive to get people involved in the competition, and started thinking about, can I get some sort of drum companies involved and give away prizes through them or something like that? But in the end, it was a bit of a eureka moment, really. I knew a guy who worked at a studio. He's an incredibly talented guy at a fantastic studio, and I thought, if we can somehow bring all the winning drummers together and create an album, give them an opportunity to record in a studio as part of a sort of collaborative project that they could all get involved in, and rather than give them a brick of sticks or a snare drum or something like that, work on a record together and then give them a cut of the money that we make from selling the record.
My name is Ave Stevenson. I work as a recording engineer and producer out of a studio in West London called Metropolis, recording and mixing various artists who come through here. I love trying to play drums when I can, even though I'm not very good. I love listening to good drummers. I love recording drums. As an engineer and a producer, it's one of the most satisfying things because you get such a different variety of sound. It's also quite a challenge to get something which everyone's happy with and which is right for the song.
There's 3 of us involved in the DrumOff project. There's myself, the guy that runs all the IT stuff, which is Al, and then there's Phil, who does all the video stuff. Although we all kind of muck in with different aspects of the project as and when stuff needs doing. It's just us 3 that run the whole thing. We had a few debates about how we were going to decide the winner, and we decided the best way was just to have a simple vote. Anybody who came to the site could pick a video that they thought was the best, and at the end of the month, the video that picked up the most votes, they won. The creativity and the variety in that first month was astounding. We had Benny Brown doing some crazy one-handed drum roll, and we had all sorts of different grooves coming in. but there was a couple that came in that we were really properly buzzing off. And sure enough, we saw it and we thought, yeah, this has probably got a good chance of winning because this is pretty good. And sure enough, yeah, the first DrumOff TV winner was Ed Francis from Texas in America, bizarrely enough.
When I first heard about DrumOff TV, I was scrolling through Facebook of all places, and I saw an ad just asking for people to submit 30-second videos for their DrumOff competition. And when I saw that, it intrigued me. The idea of playing with only 3 instruments, I mean, just using a hi-hat, the snare drum, and the bass drum, that made it more interesting for me because I really had to dig deep into myself and really come up with things more creatively than I ever had before.
This guy has some real personality and it shines through on his drum kit, the way he plays it. The guy's not only playing a rinsing beat, he's dismantling his kit as he's playing. Yeah.
When we started looking at what it would take to make it out to London, we had to take into account that we have 5 children at home. I teach over 45 students every single week, and I'm also very involved in my community.
We didn't think we were going to have a problem. We thought we were going to be able to make it over to the UK. As it progressed throughout the year, you know, Ed's a teacher over in Texas, he's got loads of students, he's got his family to think about. So it became more and more unlikely that he was going to be able to make it, so we need to start thinking around other ways that we could keep him involved in the project without him being at the recording day. Throughout our first month, while people are voting on the videos that we had up on the site, we were getting more entries coming in, and they came from all over the globe. And sure enough, to follow suit, our next month's winner was from Italy. Andy's entry was brilliant. The good thing as well was it's so different to Ed's. I mean, Ed's was very unique, and Andy's again was taking it in a totally different direction. He'd done some sort of crazy time signature or sort of fusion thing on the setup. Similar to Ed, though, as it progressed, he's a working drummer. Andy, he's doing gigs, he's working on studio sessions. I mean, he's won in November. The recording day's not to the following October. As he got close to the time, he was saying, I'm on a video shoot, I'm on a recording session, something along those lines, at the same time as your recording day. So the whole time we thought that Andy was going to make it, and then unfortunately, yeah, he couldn't make it over. We've got these guys that are submitting fantastic videos. We've got drummers from all over the place taking part, which is brilliant. The competition is working wonders. We might have more issues than we thought about with getting people over for our grand recording day, the prize for all these guys that we're trying to treat them with at the end of all the effort they've made. So when December came around and we were looking at all the different entries, and as the votes started to come in, we were all dead chuffed when we saw that Denis had won in December, and he's from Scotland.
The name's Denis Lynch and come from Glasgow originally. It was some ex-students got me into DrumOff TV. They went and kind of put me forward for it, but then I agreed to go with it. But because I wasn't expecting to get anything from it, I thought it'll just blow over, it'll go away. And then I get told I'd won, and I was like, oh no, what's next? I got into drumming first when I watched Top of the Pops. It was Adam and the Ants with 2 drummers on stage. And I thought that was cool, you know, and I'd run up to my bedroom, put books on my bed to make up a little drum kit, and I'd sit and that would be the way I would play. Then after that, I think I heard When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. And that drum intro, I was like, wow, listen to that. that was when I was like, I want to definitely be a drummer. I enjoy playing drums with people, and I love when you do a gig and you see people up enjoying themselves and having fun, and you're providing that fun for them. I think the gift of music, or any of the arts, it's not just for yourself, it's for others to also benefit from, you know. At the moment I'm actually not playing with anyone because I badly injured myself earlier in the year and I had to give away a lot of my gigs that I was doing, you know, around town. Basically knocked my pelvis out of alignment, playing football and trying to be more skillful than what I actually am. I should stick to the Scottish way of playing football and just putting a toe right through the football. But I twisted myself and even just sitting on a chair was really sore, you know, because the nerves would be all trapped and the pains all down the back of the leg, so that meant I couldn't drum. You know, you can't even sit down in a drum chair. You can't play the bass drum because you can't even feel your foot. You can't play, you can't do anything. And that was the most horrible thing, see having drums taken away from you, but it's not your choice. It kind of hit home. Drumming's more important to me than what you realise, you know. You think maybe you can just take a little time away from it, but I didn't want to have a break through that way, you know, it wasn't very cool. I only started playing again 2 weeks ago. The studio is amazing, you know, it's, the musicians are amazing. It's just been a great thing, you know, I'm glad I've done it, I'm glad I've made it, yeah.
Denis was an absolute beast, just absolutely in the pocket and just a powerhouse and really enjoyable solo. I absolutely love that tune from start to finish, really makes me smile.
That seemed on the tape to me.
Thanks, Abby.
Really? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
It's always like you're never happy, but then if he says it's all right, it actually is.
It was always going to be quite complicated getting everything organised for the recording day. It needed to be spectacular. It was the prize that all these drummers have been working towards. It's what we'd been working towards with the competition for the whole year. So it all needed to go smoothly. We need to make sure that when the drum was there, that they got an equal amount of time to record and that they felt happy at the end of that time with what they had done. So we decided to get Matt involved. Matt's the bass player on the record. He's also the guy that composed all the initial guide tracks for the drummers to work to.
Sam asked me very nicely to get involved and be the band lead for the project. And other people who I know who are good friends of mine were involved. Phil, who I've known since we were 4 years old, and Zav, the producer for the project, I've known through Sam for roughly as long as Sam, and it sounded like a good crack.
We went down to Metropolis in advance. He worked with Xavier. He had a million and one great ideas, and he picked out a whole range of different bass lines that he thought would work across the spectrum so that any of the drummers could prepare something in advance, so that when they turned up on the day, they were given a slot, they would record with Matt and the other musicians, and they'd put down a track.
So it's A, B with a drum and bass reference, and then A, B, C?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, January was the first sort of blip in the actual competition itself. We're getting some feedback from some of the guys who were saying they were going to get involved, saying they're having issues getting to their kit, being able to record their entry videos because of commitments around the holiday period and that kind of stuff. So as we're getting closer to launching the January competition, we realised we weren't going to have enough entries, which was a little bit concerning. What happens if this continues into February? What happens if we've had all the guys in the world that want to take part and they've already had a go, and now we're sort of tailing off?
I thought it'd be quite a nice little fun challenge. Just kick, snare and hi-hat, and I thought, yeah, okay, less drums makes it a bit simpler. I had the camera and everything there to record. I didn't have any like mic setups. It was literally just, you know, my iPhone just stuck, you know, on a mic stand with like a bit of cloth just to hold it steady. Thought, well, you know, I can just keep having a go until something sounds good. And eventually it did. Ribchester. I'm from Tunbridge Wells in Kent, sort of southeast of England. Been playing the drums since I was about 16, started having a few lessons when I was 18. My dad was a drummer, but I was more into like Mario Kart and GoldenEye and up until about the age of 16, and then I realised that girls like, you know, guys in bands, so I I then decided it might be worth sort of picking up the sticks and giving it a go. Played bands with mates and stuff like that, and then started teaching a bit, and then started putting a few videos up on YouTube. The YouTube channel it started as a little tool really, so that I didn't have to keep writing the same thing down for my students over and over again. And then I thought, well, if I just put them up there, you know, on YouTube, because I saw a few people doing it, and I'd learned quite a lot from doing that as well, so I thought it's always a nice way to give something back, you know. You know, I knew it was a prestigious studio, I just didn't know what to expect what it looked like, so I literally walked straight past the door, which was like this huge, grand sort of building. I was like, no, that looks like a library, I'll keep going past that, and then ended up around the back of some bus depot, and then sort of thought, well, I better poke my head in and find out, you know, where this studio is. And he's like, no, this is it. I was like, it's nice, I really like it. So instantly it was quite humbling walking through the doors, and then sort of came into the room, and obviously all the other drummers are there, and you know, they all seem so relaxed. And I came in, I'm like, bit nervous. It's different, like, you know, every time we've been in a band and stuff like that, it's, you know, the focus is on the song and, you know, the singers and everything like that, whereas, you know, the focus is on the drums today, which is, just adds that bit more pressure, makes it a bit more scary.
That's a take, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's fucking tight. Thanks, guys. Nice one. Nice plug-ins up. Very nice.
Yeah, real cool style, real laid back, real easy to work with. Some real tasty little chops in there. Yeah, that was a nice tune.
My name's Dominic. I'm from Hartigan, which is a lovely little town in a little shire called Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire. Sorry. I first started playing the drums probably from the age of about 11, going to secondary school, and I got free lessons with my music classes, so I thought I might as well pick up the drums, and decided that I wanted to try and make a career for myself. So I went to a music academy in Guildford, and it was a great place to go and learn, met some brilliant musicians, and yeah, basically turned it into a bit more of a profession opposed to a hobby. And about 21 years old, and I was kind of at, I'd say, more at the peak of my playing. I settled down quite young, so I've got a family, and for me, going on the road probably wasn't the most suitable option. At the moment now I'm a young dad, so I play more on the side of things. It's not kind of my full-time job, but I still try to play wherever I can. So I prefer to see my drumming as something I do on the side to keep me kind of fresh and, you know, have a bit more to me than my mundane 9-to-5 office job. It was a bit of a strange feeling knowing that I'd won. I kind of was a bit shocked at first as well. I had no idea that many people would have voted for me. I mean, I kind of rounded up the friends and family as well, but I don't have many friends or family, so I was quite lucky to get as many votes as I did. But yeah, it was great just knowing that I get to play with a lot of other great drummers and kind of see some different backgrounds from them as well. So yeah, I was very excited. I think DrumOff has been something to kind of remind me that why I liked to play the drums in the first place. You know, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think having the cameras around made it a little bit nerve-wracking. I mean, I used to be used to that type of way of playing, but looking past all of that, I think it's just brought it back home, like, just enjoy it. And I haven't played the drums for quite a while, and being able to do something like this has really kind of put that hunger back in there. Obviously that's a great thing, and I want to try and spend some more time playing and see what I can do with it. I mean, probably the most important thing is music's something that I love. Why stop? I should just keep going.
We didn't have any sponsorship for the competition. We're running it all off our own back. But when we started thinking about the recording day and providing the kit for the recording day, we wanted to keep it kind of unique, kind of special, like a one-off event. And one of the three of us had the idea to try and get a custom drum kit sorted for the day. We spoke to a few different companies, and in the end, as soon as I'd spoken to Russ at Humdrums, I knew that this was the guy to get involved. His enthusiasm straight off the bat for the idea of the competition was fantastic, but I started talking drums to the guy on the phone for the first time I'd ever spoken to him, and I don't know, 2 hours later I put the phone down, just knowing that not only was this guy keen to do it, but this guy just lived for drums. So yeah, it was easy to decide that Humdrums were going to be involved. I'd also been sort of looking into it and looking at all the kits, and the guy makes beautiful drums. You could kind of tell just by talking to him, he was already sort of plotting this drum kit he was going to make and what finish he was going to put on it to make it suitable for us. And yeah, giving a guy like that free rein, you knew you were going to get something pretty interesting.
Okay, well, for start sizes, we've got a 12-inch tom, 16-inch hanging tom, nice and big, and 13-inch snare. Tried to make them for the recording side of things, so we're going to get some sweet sounds coming out of them. Something a little bit different. Tried to make it so the drummers all got to play something I didn't think they'd have had a chance to play on much, like the wood hoops with the die-cast claws. Tried to make this, you know, just something that was going to feel right to them, but it also is a little bit different from what they got at home. So we've gone full mahogany on the rack tom, floor tom, and then the bass drum is a mahogany and birch mix to give it that punch. Some cymbals. I like the round ones.
Yeah, aside from just building the drum kit for us, Russ also came down on the recording day. It was brilliant. He's a good lad, and yeah, he spent the whole day chatting drums like everybody else down there, so he blended in perfectly. For the drummers individually, he teched for them. He set up the drums for them. He got them all nicely aligned, made sure they were comfortable behind the kit, which is something most of them aren't used to, but it was a real nice little treat. He's taken the mick probably to just put them at ease and getting everything settled down and creating a really nice vibe in the live room. And yeah, it was brilliant to have him there on the day.
You put a little comment on my Facebook page checked me out on YouTube and you invited me to like put a video up for it for April. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go. Like I checked it out, figured out like the whole like kick snare hat concept, like what's going on. I don't really hit many of the drums anyway, but getting your kick snare hats was the main foundation of drums, isn't it, really? Yeah, and I made a video, put it online, won. And that's how I heard about it.
Let's take what? You got a clapper down? So ladies and gents, we've had the tape. We'll do 2 bars and in.
I'm Jess, I'm from Milton Keynes in Buckinghamshire. I've been playing since I was 12. I started playing guitar first because I was obsessed with Avril Lavigne. So I was like playing on Avril Lavigne on the guitar and then I was like, I want to be able to play the drums. So I like searched drum teachers online. I was like, Mum, I'm going to drum lessons. She's like, no. So I kept nagging and then she got me drum lessons and then 6 months I didn't have a drum kit. I just play on pillows and then she kind of realised that I'd learnt the whole Avril album and that I needed a drum kit. So yeah, it just went from there. I took lessons from when I was 12 till about 16. I did my grade 8 with a guy called Derek, who's a local drummer from where I'm from, and he was great. He was like a great mentor for me. And then I had like my heart set on going to drum tech, and then when I finished A-levels I went to drum tech, and then I started teaching in New York over the summer. Then I went and worked for a year in an office and hated it. So now I've gone back to uni. So I'm studying for that at the moment, I'm doing my degree in that, and I am in uni 2 days a week. So like literally, those days I'm not is when I'm drumming or trying to find more places to go drumming, like auditions or sessions or whatever's free. I just like divas, like strong women in like the music industry. So whether it be like absolutely awful people like Katy Perry or like Gaga or Beyonce, but Beyonce's drummer at the moment, Cora Dunham, she's like my home girl. Like I want to be her. I'm not going to be her obviously, but still. The studio's been cool. I got here on time, it was good. Everyone's nice. Got a cup of teas made for me, it's been pretty chill. I liked the kit. Bass drum's nice. I like the his brass lugs on it. Those look cool. It'd be better if the kit was pink. I'm kidding. Matt and Roy, yeah, they were cool. They came and chatted to me before we went and recorded, kind of asked if I had any ideas. And yeah, it was cool. Done.
Roy's extremely imaginative when it comes to, hey, well, we can do that there and glue that together here and jobs are good. And so that seems to be the case for quite a lot of the tunes. So I can't really think of any problems, technical or musical, throughout the entire day, really.
Then from the point where you do actually, Matt.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do that. The point where you do actually come in, like in a snare and everything like that, if we then do maybe...
Roy, at one point, ate, I think, 4 double chocolate muffins in a row, and his communication from that point onwards became somewhat difficult for a couple of minutes until he got it all out of his teeth. But other than that...
Whoa! That was loud.
My name is Kamil Staziak. I had a video and it was a kick snare hat video, and it was on an ice rink, and well, it was on YouTube. I did it for fun, and then I saw a comment from DrumOff that they're making this thing, and I checked it out and I entered. Yeah, so yeah, that's how it went. Yeah, I come from Poland, and I play drums. I've been playing since I was 16 years old. I started, I don't know if it's late, well I guess it's kind of late. When I was a kid I always wanted to play drums, but I had this weird idea in my head that it's really expensive and that I'll never be able to buy a drum kit. But after I got older, I kind of checked it out, and then it turned out that they're not so expensive, so I told my mom and she bought me my first kit, so thank you, Mom. Before I just lived off of drumming, but I realized that it's not enough, and I started a full-time job around 5 months ago. And of course it's kind of influenced my drumming because I don't have a lot of time to practice anymore. But I'm trying to, I guess I'm still adjusting to a new lifestyle, because I have rehearsals with a lot of bands, and it's like from 7:30 to 3:30 p.m. I work, then I don't even go home. I just go to rehearsals, and I usually have rehearsals till 11 p.m. So at midnight I'm home and I go to sleep, and then I repeat all over again. Yeah. I'm really lucky to be recording here because these guys are really good, and yeah, it's an honor to record with all those people who work professionally and with all those stars and all that stuff. And the musicians are great, so basically I didn't have to worry, and I played whatever and they just adjusted, so everything sounds good, I think. When I got the bass line, when I started to think about playing here, when I was in Poland and tried practicing, I did this whole busy thing with drum solos and all that stuff in it. But when I came here and we played, I just threw that all out and we just played a groove that complemented the music, I guess. I hope that when it's finished, it's going to be a track you can listen to and not just a drum thing.
It's weird how sometimes things work out. You plan them as best you can, but it's weird how sometimes they just work out just nice. Because because I don't think we could have picked anybody better to have opened the day up, really. Not just in terms of Kamil being on the money. I mean, he nailed the track just almost instantly, clicked in with the musicians. Well, that's what happens, isn't it, when you've got good players together.
The guys we got to play with are so good that you just don't need to do anything.
But also the fact that it was the song was just right for opening up the day. We had all the music pumped through into the room upstairs where all the other drummers were sitting about and waiting to do their recording. So they were all listening to it, and it set the vibe for the day. Not only was it a great song, it just sort of lifts your spirit up, gets you in the mood for doing something good.
My name's Jack Mosley and I'm from Halifax. The track that I'm playing today is a trip-hop groove. Like, it's a bit of hip-hop, but then it's not as well. I don't even know how to describe it. I've just tried to play a few grooves that I think go with the bass line and then just mess it up and mess with the timing. I listen to a lot of Benny Greb and Dave Weckl, Chris Coleman, Gerald Haywood. Jojo Mayer I listen a lot to, like drum and bass sort of stuff. I just try and learn from everyone, like, where I can. As long as I think they're a decent drummer and there's some like aspects of the playing that I'd like to like recreate in my own. Today's been really good. Like, I was really surprised of how many people are actually working on the DrumOff TV thing, because I was like expecting at max like about 4 or 5 people, and there's literally like an array of 30 people or something downstairs. The level of playing is really good, and they've all nailed the track so far. And like, it's so much different seeing them in real life as opposed to on the 30-second clip, because as far as like technique and chops are concerned, it's hard to fit into 30 seconds. So like, it's been nice seeing that there are some really talented drummers out there.
Yeah, that one there you played before by wrong.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that one, that was great.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I thought that was the best one.
Yeah.
Cool.
The situation with Dillon was basically 20 people the 20 people that were there that weren't involved filming or playing or recording or anything like that were just staring through the window at Dillon playing with their jaws on the floor at what a talent he was. And that was a hard, what's the phrase?
Act to follow.
That was a hard act to follow. That was a hard act to follow.
I'm Dillon Harrison and I'm from Halifax in West Yorkshire.
Alright, done same count in again.
inherited a drum kit from our granddad, and he just had a spare drum kit, so we bought it from him for £100. I was only 6 at the time, so it was meant for my brother, who was 9. But I just kind of took to the drums, and it all took off from there. My dad's helped me a lot with my practice, but when I was 7 I started having lessons with a guy called Jack Nicholson, and he's just taught me through the grades, and I'm going for my grade 8 now, which should be sometime in late November. It's hard with homework and everything, but I do practice every day in the morning and at night after school. My favourite drummers are probably, I really like Gavin Harrison for his kind of, just the way he plays, his sound is absolutely amazing. I also really like Benny Greb for his feel and his groove. I think it's mind-boggling. Amazing. It's the first time I've ever played with musicians of that standard. It's just really good experience, and probably going to be the last time for quite a while. And it's good to get used to recording, and it was quite hard, but you soon get used to it, and then you can just play.
I just asked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say, really.
You happy?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
I'd just love to be a professional musician when I'm older. It would just be amazing just to achieve that level.
Dillon?
Yeah.
You come through here and have a listen?
Come on, mate.
Hey, well done.
Everyone seems great and really cool, like especially little Dillon, he's amazing, like 10 years old and probably the best drummer here.
So funny. I give up.
I think quite a few of the drummers remarked on the day about the number of people we actually had working, but if you're trying to do a recording session in one day involving that many drummers, chopping between each drummer all the time, you're going to need plenty of people to work the day. We had Zav running the studio side of things, doing the recordings, and he got his bunch of guys. We then had Marcus from FUTUREWORKS coordinate getting some guys to do the filming. We had Matt, we had Roy on the keys, and we were planning on having a guitar player come down on the day as well, but as with a couple of the drummers, the logistics of getting that many people in one place at one time didn't quite work out, so we ended up having to do the guitar part separately from the recording day.
Phil, being an extremely talented guitarist, is in high demand, and I think the night before the Metropolis session, he was gigging in Bristol. I don't think he got off stage till 4 in the morning. So even if he could have feasibly made it to London, he wouldn't have been any use to anyone. So we arranged some overdub sessions at FUTUREWORKS in Salford afterwards for him to paint over the core of the tracks that we'd recorded, which gave Phil a chance to do what he does so well. Put a lot of passion and improvisation, and just added a whole new level to the tunes in general, I think.
My name's Thom Mills. I'm from Brighton. I heard about DrumOff TV and thought, that'd be good, why not? I think for me it was just kind of, I'm not getting any younger and I'm just trying to, I think at the moment, do as much as I can, so I'm just kind of like, I haven't really done a lot of drumming videos or my own kind of stuff with bands, so I thought maybe if I did some videos and promoted myself a little bit more, it might help me along.
I wrote a bit of a metal-y kind of riff and an odd time signature. The end product didn't exactly turn out like metal, but was a particular favourite of mine, actually, that one.
I've been playing drums for about 15 years now. I grew up listening to a lot of Nirvana, so Dave Grohl was always there, and it's just in my playing now. I'm a very loud sort of drummer, but now it's kind of spread. I think I kind of got into more kind of creative, avant-garde and like weird stuff. The process with the guys in recording was great. I mean, they were really great musicians and it felt quite organic. I didn't just want to play it like just standard metal. I wanted to kind of maybe push it in a direction where it would be a little bit more interesting than that, so hopefully I've done that. Quite a pressured situation, because usually when you're recording that's pressure enough just having the microphones, but having the microphones and then the lights and then the cameras and like everyone going, take 8. It's like, that's quite a lot more extra pressure, so I think that's why I was getting really like energetic and really kind of excited, overexcited, probably too much. My drum teacher used to say to me, always remember that there's going to be someone better than you. I kind of see that in a really positive way, because with drums it's kind of, you don't get to the end of it. It's like the more you progress, the more it opens out and the more you have to learn. You know, it's not always about being better, it's about being creative and being musical and doing your own thing.
You've got the live room downstairs, you've got the control room just behind it where all the guys are working. Then upstairs we had a little lounge area where all the drummers could sit around and they could look over the studio, they could watch what was going on, they could sort of enjoy the music being recorded on the day. And they could also set up and practice and do a few sort of warm-up routines and all this kind of stuff. But more than that, they could sit up there and take the mick out of each other and have a bit of banter. And it was lovely, really. I think it put everybody at ease. Like, everybody was just sort of encouraging each other, and it created such a nice vibe for the day.
Hi, my name's Mark MacSporran. I'm from...
Mark had never played reggae before until he ended up with the reggae groove to work on, and so spent a fortnight playing reggae leading up to the recording session and had pretty much mastered the style by the time we got out. Real interesting approach to having the kind of swing verse grooves into the pumping straight 4 on the floor, rubber dub style thing in between. Again, real cool guy, real laid back, and a real talent. One of my favourite, if not the favourite, of the 30-second video entries.
All the kind of intricate wee bits are from linear patterns and then doubling them. But I kind of took it to the next step and tried to kind of get different sounds out of it, you know, rather than just the sound of the hat, sound of the snares, sound of the bass. What kind of sounds can I get out of it? So using the cross stick as a double linear, using the rim a bit more, just trying to get as much of a variety of sound as I could out of the kit. I got into drumming when I was in secondary school, probably about my second year, and it was just down to luck and kind of opportunity. I had a really good kind of high school teacher who, you know, instead of the classical kind of side of music, was really into, you know, kind of modern day music, and he said, "Who wants to do drums?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll go for it." Didn't have a clue, and then we need a drummer for the band. "Yeah, I'll do it," you know. But you know, it was almost learning backwards. Almost. I was in a band before I even had a kit. I remember playing like on a curtain rail and this really old snare, and it's like, so playing music before I started, and that'd be about 10 years ago now, so playing for about 10 years. When I was about 16, 17, I started getting kind of more formal lessons off a local teacher who kind of taught me the basic rudiments, and then from there I went on to study. I did a degree at Perth in popular music. Obviously I got a lot of kind of help there with both, you know, the music business and music in general, as well as getting my chops up. I actually was really, really lucky that the uni that I graduated from offered me a job, a part-time job. So there I teach drums on a one-to-one kind of basis. And then I'm also teaching in other places and also running projects in primary schools, teaching kids the basics of rhythm. I was online, just browsing, seeing if there's any bands, any kind of gigs, people looking for drummers. And I saw this little advert saying DrumOff TV. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" You know, I just clicked on it. Whoa! All these great videos, you know, all this kind of, this nicely monthly kind of competition. I've been following it since December. It was just really hard with finding time, I think, to kind of put something together. But managed in the end and got my video online, so chuffed. Today's been fantastic, so much fun. It's great just to see everyone else playing. Also, obviously, play myself down in the studio. It's basically kind of one drop into a 4-drop reggae feel. And reggae is something that I've never really kind of had a go at, so it was really good to kind of have a blast at reggae, like to try my chops at it. I think it's really important to be a musical drummer rather than just be a drummer. Joe Jones, you know, the famous jazz drummer, he said that drumming is 85% ears and listening and 15% technique. And I think drummers can sometimes lose that kind of philosophy when they play. So the important thing is listen, be musical, and play what's best for the track. Don't be selfish. But today is obviously the exception.
We have 5 children, we have over 45 students, and I'm very involved with what happens here in our community. And we just discovered that doing that traveling would be an impossibility for us. So what we did was we contacted a local filming crew and a really good producer here in the States, and they did a really good job doing all the filming and recording. And once we had that together, Sam and Phil were kind enough to let us use what we did here in the States. I began drumming when I was 7 years old, and my grandfather got all the pots and pans out, and we got to bang on them, me and my brother. And my grandmother, even though she didn't like it all that much, my grandfather, he let us do it anyway. And that was the beginning of playing the drums for me. Most of my influences are not even drummers. They include Olympians, they include Ninja Warrior participants, they're the dancers, they're the people that play other instruments. Anyone who follows their passion, anybody who loves what they do, those people who daily, for hours, for months, for years, practice something just to have those brief moments where they're able to shine, they're the ones that influence me. I think it's a testament to the spirit of what DrumOff TV is all about, that they really reached out to an American halfway across the world and allowed me to be a part of things, even though I couldn't make it all the way out to London. And I just want to say thank you, guys. I think what you're doing is great.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we were all dead chuffed. All the drummers had gone away perfectly happy with what they'd done, so that was mission accomplished. And then we all just sort of sat round, opened a bottle of champagne, and just sort of said thanks to all the guys involved. And yeah, we meant it. They were, yeah. Can you say perfect? Does it just sound arrogant? I don't know. It went perfectly.
The recording day was one of the best days of my life, actually. It was, and I think for everyone involved, it was probably the same. It was a potential nightmare having 10 drummers to record in 10 hours, but we made really good use of time with the first couple, and everything just rolled on very smoothly after that.
It's been great. There's been there's general atmosphere of excitement. I thought everyone was going to be a lot more nervous, but everyone's been very, very chilled out and like really up for doing some stuff, and it's run smoothly as anything.
Everyone was there on your side, and everyone was there to support you, and you could see the enjoyment on people's faces of the music that was being made, so that took the pressure off quite instantly, really. 10 drummers in 10 hours in a live studio situation is not like anything I've ever done before. No, it was a big ask, but we're very happy with the results, and I'm extremely proud of what we did that day, and I'm glad that I got involved.
If we were to only have run this once, if this was to be the only year, I'd count it a massive success, but we're not. plan is to keep it going. We've learned so much from this first year. We've already learned about things that we can do and improve on the competition for next year, how we can take it to the next level and just make it more of a prize for the drummers taking part.
Roaring success. I'd love to do it again. Yeah, really looking forward to DrumOff 2014.
Pretty tired now. I've had quite a lot of cakes to keep my energy up, and I'm starting to run out of that cake energy now. So sleep well tonight.